For the second part of this training, we want to show you the information management rules in real time and show you what to expect once you start working in SharePoint 2013. So for this example, I'm going to upload a meeting minutes Word document. You just want to navigate to your file like normal that you want to upload. And then just select OK. Now at this point, the document is actually already uploaded, but it's in a state where it's only checked out to you. So no one else can see it until you fill out the required metadata and check the document in. So I'm going to go through the different fields on this form, and then I'll actually give you an example of how long it takes to actually get the document checked in. So the first field is going to be the content type field. As you can see, by default, it actually defaults to administrative. But this is very important. You want to take the time to make sure that you select the actual correct content type for the file that you're uploading. And I'll show you a little bit of that when I go to upload my actual file. You'll then come down to department and select your appropriate department. That's also a required field. You'll then go ahead and come down to the subtype field. With the subtype, it is going to require you to actually select your department again, just because a lot of the subtypes are department specific, so we don't want you looking at a list of subtypes that may not even apply to you. We have also actually incorporated a subtype hover, so that we don't expect you to memorize all of these subtypes at once. So you can just hover over each subtype, and it'll give you a description of what they mean as well. You can then come down to the name. Now, as you can see, by default, the name of the document defaults to the name of the file that you're uploading. You can then come down to title, and you can opt to actually put in a more descriptive title of the document if you like. There's also the identifier field, which the identifier field is good if there's maybe an invoice number or a patient number, something of that nature that's associated with the document. You can then come down and type in a short description of the document if you like, though that one is not required. You can then come down to status, and status allows you to select if the file that you're uploading is maybe in a draft or final status or under review. After that, you can then go down and you'll see confidential. With confidential, you definitely want to make sure you mark it as confidential if there's any sensitive information in there, such as date of birth, social security number, health data, or anything of that nature. And then you can just come down and check it in. So I wanted to kind of go through each field first before I actually showed you how to upload, just so you wouldn't kind of hear all the clicks when I'm going through filling out the form. But now I'll go ahead and demonstrate just how easy it is. So since we have a meeting minutes document, I'm going to go ahead and keep it as administrative, though as a quick example, you can see how those content type descriptions do change based on what you select. And again, I'm going to be pretty silent while I fill out the rest of the form, just so it's not hard to hear me while I'm filling it out. Right, and there you go. As you can see, it only took me a few quick seconds to actually go ahead and get that file uploaded and all of the required metadata filled out. Now let's say there's an issue where you realize, well, maybe that shouldn't have been a meeting minutes subtype. Maybe I actually should have picked agendas. So I'm going to show you a quick example of just how easy it is to actually change the subtype or any of the other required metadata fields. Okay, so again, in just a few seconds, I was able to go in, actually correct the subtype, and save it. So now it's saved as the agenda subtype. Another thing I want to point out is that a lot of our users are actually used to using folders. Well, with SharePoint in the cloud, you no longer have to use folders to organize your data. You can simply organize your data just by modifying your view. So you'll see right now, I can see the name of my document, I can see how long ago it was modified and who modified it. But let's say I wanted to see a little bit more. I'll show you how easy it is to actually modify the view and actually use it as a way to organize your documents. Now, as you're able to see, I was able to quickly add on 2 additional columns to my document library, confidential and content type. So now I'm able to actually easily see whether a document is confidential or not, as well as the content type of that document. So as you start to fill up your document library with a lot of documents, it'll be very beneficial to be able to see that at first glance, instead of having to dig through a folder structure. And that's about it. Thank you so much for viewing our Records and Information Management tutorial. Please save the links that we sent you for reference. As you get started with the information management rules and getting accustomed to them, it'll be really beneficial to have those links available. And also, of course, keep in mind, if you have any questions, you can reach out to your department's Records and Information Management Coordinator.